This shared neckline instantly makes any blouse look elegant. Let me show you exactly how to sew it. Yeah, welcome once again to my channel. My name is Justina, and today we're going to be learning how to sew this stylish blouse with a keyhole detail. So here are the materials I'm going to be using for this. I made use of about 2 yards of fabric. So the first thing I'm going to do is to indicate the length of my blouse on my pattern paper. Now I'm going to be saying this. The inspiration is slightly different from what I did because I made my own neck higher. Now this is optional because I wanted mine to be way higher. That is why I'm going to be leaving about 2 inches, about 1 to 5 inches before the start of my pattern. So this is optional for you. If you want yours to be higher, fine. But if you don't want yours to be higher, you really don't need to leave that space at the top. So after that, you are going to go ahead to indicate the length of your blouse. That is totally up to you. And after doing that, just go ahead to impute your across shoulder measurement, which is also your back measurement divided by 2. After doing that, I'm going to go ahead to indicate my shoulder to chest point. In my own case, I'm working with 8 inches. Okay. The formula to get yours have been displayed. So after doing that, I'm just going to go ahead to create my armhole line on that point. And on the neck point, I went ahead to mark 3 inches as my neck depth and 3 inches as my neck width. So this is just to indicate where we have our neckline. We're going to be altering this soon enough. Now, the reason I'm drafting on a pattern paper is to make it clearer. So after doing that, I went down the armhole line by 1 inch to create my shoulder slope, as you can see. So what we are trying to do here is just to draft the normal basic bodies, and this is not going to be having any of that. So I went ahead to impute my bust round measurement divided by 4 on my armhole line, and on the end of the paper, which is the part I'm going to be having toward my hip, I went ahead to impute my hip measurement divided by 4. Then I connected both sides together, as you can see me do. Then I divided what I have on my armhole line by 2. I went in by 0.5 inches to create my armhole curve for the front, and for the back I did not go in. I just made that curve like that. So I went ahead to connect it down to the shoulder slope, as you can see me do, and that is our basic bodies. Now, the next thing we're going to go ahead to do is to work on the neckline part. Now, because I told you I'm going to be raising mine, just watch closely what I'm about to do. If you don't want to raise yours, if you don't want yours as high, you just want it to be exactly as what you have displayed as the inspiration, then just go ahead not to impute this 1 inch, please. Just leave yours like that. So I went ahead to elevate my by 1 extra inch, and you can see what I have now. So what I'm going to do at this point is to indicate my new neck width and neck depth. Okay, so you are going to see what I'm going to do. So I just went in by 0.5 inches from the top of my paper. So that is going to be like how high I want it to be. Okay, so you can see I've cancelled the 3 inches I used for the neck depth. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to be determining how long I want it to be for the attachment into the main bodies, because we are going to be cutting this neckline out in order to slash and spread so that we can go ahead to gather it. So I'm just going to go ahead to connect this. I used 4 inches, I think 4.5 inches in my case, but when I was done with the tutorial, I realized that that was kind of very deep. So if you are doing yours, I suggest you just make do with 3 inches or add 0.5 inches to make yours just 3.5 inches. So this is what I have. When I was done doing that, I went ahead to blend the neckline, the shoulder slope region, into the new elevated neck. And basically this is just for the main bodies. So you're going to go ahead to add your allowance, and after doing that, just go ahead to trim out what you don't need over there. So I'm going to go ahead now also to cut out the neck. Okay, because we're going to be having this, we're going to be reattaching this to the neck. Remember, we're going to be gathering this particular neck with an elastic thread. So this is what the neck looks like. I just went ahead to, indicate the directions because it's very important for me to know how I'm going to fix. Now I'm going to go ahead to bring in a remnant of my pattern paper, and I'm going to place that neck I had to cut out earlier. I'm going to place it on it like so, on the point where it was folded, like the closed end. Then I'm going to go ahead to pin this part as you can see me do. Then I'm just going to go ahead to trim this same neck design, just trim it, cut it out on this pattern paper. What I'm trying to achieve here is just to get the full part of this neckline, since my paper was not unfold when I cut out the neck earlier. So after doing that, this is what the front neck will look like. Consider it is now high, right? So we're going to be creating slash lines on this particular part because we're going to be needing two pieces for the front and for the back neck. Now I'm going to be saying, because this is going to be an elastic neck, I'm not going to be adding any zipper or buttonhole to it. So what we are going to go ahead to do right now is to create slash lines depending on how full or how full you want this to be. So I just went ahead to create slash lines, and I even realized that I don't know why I made the slash line so much. It's really not necessary. You can just do about 3 or 4. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead to cut through these slash lines after labeling. Please, the labeling is really important, especially if you're a total beginner, so that you don't mix up your work and get confused along the way. So I'm going to go ahead to cut out this piece and just keep them aside. Please indicate the direction, especially the part you're going to be joining on the lower part is really, really important. So if you are watching to this point and you're getting value, please don't forget to subscribe if you are yet to be subscribed to this channel. Turn on your notification bell so that when I post videos, you get to see them. And your likes, your comments, they mean a lot to me. Don't forget to just hit the like button so that others get to see these videos too. So this is what I have after going ahead to cut. Now I'm going to go ahead right now to cut out these main bodies on my folded fabric. So I folded this fabric into two. You're going to be needing two pieces for the front and for the back. Okay, so because my pattern paper length was short, I just went ahead to add about 3 extra inches to the length of my top. The length of your top depends on what you want. In my case, I used about 25 inches, so I added 1 extra inch to make it 26, which is going to be used for my hemming. Now along the neckline point, if you look at what I did, I added 0.5 inches on that part, which is going to be used to join my neckline back. Okay, so after doing that, I also added my sewing allowance on the side, which is about that's just 1 inch. So after doing that, I had to use the back to go ahead to cut the front, as you can see me do. So basically the front and the back at this point is giving us the same shape. Okay, so when I'm about to so I'm going to be showing you the way I went about that keyhole detail, what I did at that keyhole detail. I'm going to show you in depth what I did for the front bodies. So I've gone ahead to trim out the armhole for the front so that I don't mix it up with that of the back. So I'm back to the neckline that we slashed earlier. So right now what we're doing is we're going to be spreading. Okay, now for the purpose of this tutorial, when I was spreading, I spread by 2 inches, which 2 inches, which 2.5 inches rather, which I realized at the end of the day was too wide for me. Okay, I had to, reduce it. I had to trim down the neck even after sharing. So this is what I advise you when you're spreading. Please don't do anything more than 1.5 inches. You can do 1 inch to 1.5 inches. So 1 inch if you're on the smaller side, it means if your head circumference is on the smaller side, 1 inch. But if probably such a person have a wide head circumference or neck circumference, you can do 1.5 inches, so that at the end of the day you don't just waste your fabric, then also your sharing thread. So this is a tutorial, and that's why I'm being honest. I had to reduce. You're going to see that in the course of the tutorial too. So I spread by 2.5 inches because I was considering my neck circumference, my head circumference, not even neck, my head circumference. So after spreading, this is what I have. I just followed the shape as you can see me do. And on the lower part, because I'm going to be attaching this back into the main bodies, I added a zero point 0.5 inch on the lower part, and this is what it looks like after going ahead to trim. So please, the shape is really really important. After doing this, I'm going to be using this now to cut the second piece. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead to trim that as you can see me do. So I have two pieces, and this two piece now is going to be for the front and for the back. So these two pieces for the front and the back. Now if you have extra piece, you can use one as a form of lining, but I do not have any extra piece, and that is why I'm working with just the single layer. So for my sleeve, I did this off camera because I think I have other tutorials that show you how to cut this balloon sleeve. So it's just basically like your long sleeve pattern, then you're not going to be making it fitted at the wrist, you're just going to make it free. Okay, so now this is back to my sewing table, and I just want to show you what I'm going to be doing to the neck for the keyhole details. So I came down by 3.5 inches. Please always consider the fact that you already remove about 4 inches for the neckline. Okay, so you can come down by 2 inches or 2.5 if you don't want yours to be as deep as mine. Then on the width part, I went in by 0.75 inches. So that 0.75 inches would give me 1.5 inch the wideness when I'm done. And I connected this in form of a V. Then I just went ahead to cut it. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to show you when I open it up. This is what the keyhole detail looks like for now. So I'm going to also go ahead to place some extra fabric underneath, which I'm going to be using as a facing for the keyhole part. So you're going to be placing it just like the way you see me do. Go ahead to cut out that particular keyhole shape and go ahead to trim your facing. So this is what I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using a facing, but you can also cut a bias and use a bias to turn this particular keyhole detail, but I'm just going to be using the facing for the purpose of this tutorial. So I'm going to go ahead to stitch it down, then I'm going to clip it at that V part, just like the way you sew a V neckline. That's basically what you're doing on this part for now. After doing that, I'm going to go ahead to join it, the back and the front facing each other like so. Join it at the shoulder, go ahead to join it at the side. Then I'm going to go ahead to hem the lower part of this blouse. Then after doing all of that, I'm going to go ahead to fold in my sleeve as you can see me do on the armhole part, and fix it into the armhole. Then try to turn the casing to insert my thread for my sleeve. I'll be doing all of that off camera. Okay, but I'm just going to carry it through. Now the shared neckline is actually our main point, so this is what we're going to do. This is the elastic thread we're using. It's called an elastic thread. Okay, some people call it smoking thread. You can ask any accessory shop. So you're going to be using your hand to wind this into your bobbin. You cannot use your machine to do this. You'll be using your hand to wind this into your bobbins. So make sure you have like 3 or 4 3 bobbins readily available so that you won't stop while you're working. Now you can see the shape of this. I'm going to be turning it at the upper part, which is the part that is not wide. I'll turn it at the upper part, and this is what I've done. Then I'm going to go ahead to insert. I went ahead to remove my bobbin case, then insert this bobbin in this manner. Another thing you want to do is to unscrew. Yes, you have to screw this part, this tension part in your bobbin. Okay, it must not be tight. If it's tight, then your thread will not be able to pass out well. So make sure it's not too tight and it's not too loose, and try to test run. I test run in this particular part. Then also your tension for the machine head itself, you have to reduce it. Make sure it's not too tight. Okay, so I've gone ahead to fold the upper part of this neckline, of this shared neckline. So after doing that, I'm going to just go ahead before I start sewing to test this on a scrap fabric to see if the settings I did on my machine is okay. So you can see that the way I'm sewing it is even, it's automatically gathering it. Do you understand what I did here? So after doing that, I'm just going to go ahead right now with my neckline, and I'm just going to be taking this one after the other. So I'm leaving about 0.25 inches from the folded part, which is going to be the part I hemmed for the upper neck. So I'm just going to be going. Please, while you're doing this, make sure you're not pulling, okay? Make sure you're not pulling. Just keep using your hand to direct this while you're sewing. So this is the first layer. You can see the way the neck is already gathered, right? So I'm going to go through the second layer, going to go through the second layer. So you have to take your time doing this because it might cost you some time. Yes, it will even, yeah, it will take your time a bit, but just enjoying the process, because I think the overall result will make you forget the whole process. So I just went ahead to do this. So I was leaving 0.5 inches in between. So if you want yours to be full, you can leave 0.25 inches. If you want yours not to be as full, you can leave 0.75 inches. This is totally dependent on what you want. So I'm done with one of the neckline. You can see this is what I have. You can see that it has become much more smaller, right? Don't worry, it's going to stretch when we want to fix it. So I've gone ahead to sew in my blouse. As you can see, what the neckline look like. I'm yet to give this a good press. I'm just trying to show you. So I'm going to be giving this a good press. When I'm done, I'm going to use a hemi glue for that particular keyhole neck detail so that it can be in place. Then turn my sleeve end with a casing and insert my elastic thread for that balloon, that effect at the wrist. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead with the two neck part, the shared neck part. Now I'm going to go ahead to stitch it at the side following the shape. Now this is what I have after stitching by the side. Now this is why I say don't spread by 2.5. When I spread by 2.5, I realized this neck was way too wide for me. What I needed was like 6.5 inches, which my neck is like 13 inches to 14 inches, my neck circumference. And what I have here is like 11 inches. So that is way wide. And for the two part, that's like 22, very, very wide for me. So I went ahead now just to count what I have left after folding it into two. So I'm going to be taking away 2 inches from the top and from the lower part following the shape. So this is what I have. Now this is my perfect neck part. So what I'm going to go ahead to do right now is to turn this, okay, inside out and fix this on the sleeve joining part with my pin. Then I went on to the other side of the joining so that I will not have any side that has one part bigger than the other, to fix in the other part on the sleeve joining side with a pin too. So I'm going to hold this with a pin to see how it looks first. So that means I'm going to be stretching as I fix this to the back neck. And after doing that, I'm going to be fixing this to the front neck design. Now, please take note that the part where we have the keyhole, so you have to fold that part into two and close it up to give you a neat finish. In case you turn yours, yes, to give you a neat finish, just go ahead to fold and then sew round. Thank you so much for this video, and I'll see you in my next tutorial. Bye.